Welcome. I'm here with our popular and upcoming sediment and erosion control masterclass speaker, Jerry Fifield, to share more about his background and sediment and erosion control knowledge. Jerry, we all know you have a lot of experience with construction sites, roadways, and all things erosion control. Tell us a little about your background and how you got into this field.
My whole exposure to sediment erosion control began when I was working on my doctorate at Utah State University. I had an opportunity to evaluate various erosion control products on a rainfall simulator, and lo and behold, found out that this was kind of a fun thing to do, but more importantly, found out how little information was out there about what is the best way of doing some of the erosion control, what are the best ways of trying to remove sediment out of runoff waters and so forth down the line. When I started working for a consulting firm, I was hired with regard to making and looking at water quality issues, and part of that, of course, was the issues associated with sediment and controlling sediment. And eventually it just evolved to a point where I decided to get much more involved as a result, not only doing design work, but also doing inspection work, being a consultant whenever people had concerns about this particular endeavor, and evolved into the actual teaching of the classes themselves. Along with that, of course, is the writing of a couple of manuals and publishing a fair number of papers. It's been an interesting endeavor all around in the fact that there's an awful lot to this business that, yes, I learn a lot, but I find out how little I truly know sometimes.
Great. We're glad you're teaching as well as consulting. What do you enjoy most about your work?
I like to be able to solve problems, and water quality is a huge problem environmentally, obviously, but more importantly is being out there to work with other engineering firms. And I've found out the education aspect of it is becoming very rewarding in the fact that able to impart lots of information about this discipline of trying to control erosion, trying to control sediments, not only to designers but also to contractors, inspectors, and so forth.
Fixing problems is very satisfying. Now you and Tina both work at Hydrodynamics Incorporated. Tell us a little about what you do there.
Well, I'll start with this one myself. Basically, hydrodynamics has been since 1983, and we deal with drainage, we deal with water rights, we deal definitely with sediment erosion control and water quality issues, as well as get involved with expert testimony, design of projects, items that you would find on almost any general consulting firm.
Sounds like you're busy. As a seasoned professional, what advice do you have to those entering the sediment and erosion control field?
The biggest thing I think that comes out of it is if you're going to be involved with sediment erosion control to meet certain rules and regulations, get to know the ins and outs, the limitations of products that you may put, say, in front of inlets or install around a perimeter. In other words, get to know all aspects about sediment erosion controls and tailor to what your disciplines are. If you're a designer, it means you got to know a lot of materials. You got to know a lot of information on here. If you're an inspector, know those limitations and be able to communicate with the designers and the contractors. So it's a pretty broad field there, but basically get educated. That's probably the most important item that I can advise to anybody listening in here today.
Knowledge is power, and you can start your learning with Jerry in our Sediment and Erosion Control for Construction Sites Masterclass series available at foresteruniversity.net. Sign up now and save 20%.